If you want to live in a town with top-rated schools, amazing amenities, all the while the value of your home skyrockets, then Suwanee, Georgia needs to be the top of your list. Hey, welcome. This video is all about the 7 things that you need to know when it comes to living in Suwanee, Georgia. I'm Rip the Realtor. I help people in Suwanee as well as the North Metro Atlanta area and would love to help you in any way I can. So let's jump right into today's video of 7 things that you need to know if you're considering moving to Suwanee, Georgia. All right, so number 1 on our list is schools. The schools here in Suwanee, Georgia are amazing. In fact, they are an A+ rating from areavibes.com, and the test scores for Suwanee are 40% better than the national average. It's pretty impressive. Also, it's noteworthy to mention that they are the 3rd best public schools in the entire state of Georgia. So Suwanee comes in super strong when it comes to schools. All you parents wondering and worrying about your little babies, worry no longer. Suwanee's got you covered. Also, let me mention too that our kids are in Suwanee schools. So I've got one in the elementary school here in Suwanee at Burnett Elementary. We love the school. We've been super involved. As a matter of fact, I am part of the school council. Past teachers of mine, eat your heart out. I'm actually on school council. I would never have made it as a student. Also, we've got one a little bit older who's in one of the middle schools here in Suwanee at Hull Middle School. That feeds into Peachtree Ridge High School. Again, great school. We love it. Great academics, great extracurricular. It's just overall great schools. And so when you hear a parent not complaining, but praising the schools, there must be something to it. Moving on to number 2, the parks in Suwanee. The parks in Gwinnett County as a whole are amazing, but we're going to speak specifically about the parks here in Suwanee. First up, Suwanee Greenway. Now, this is a trail that runs all through Suwanee. My wife loves it. She loves to run on it. They're actually, right now, they are putting in sidewalks that run along Peachtree Industrial Boulevard, which is a major road that goes through Suwanee. And so all these neighborhoods on Peachtree Industrial Boulevard that we lovingly refer to as PIB, I guess we just get too tired and lazy of actually having to say all 3 words, so we call it PIB. But all those neighborhoods on PIB are going to enjoy going up to the entrance of their neighborhood and biking or walking or running or walking their dog right down the sidewalk that's going to dump them out right onto Suwanee Greenway. It's a great greenway that crosses some creeks. It's through the woods, meadows, just beautiful scenery. So that's one of the great parks. We also have George Pierce Park. It's full of recreational fields, baseball fields, soccer fields, football fields, as well as a lake. It's got an aquatic center. It's huge, tons of walking trails, all kinds of stuff to do at George Pierce Park. We also have Sims Lake Park. That is the park that my son learned how to ride a bike at. Again, it's a great little park, thus the name Sims Lake. It's got a great lake there, tons of wildlife. My boys love to go there and feed the turtles. There's these huge water turtles that are swimming all around. There's tons of fish. Just a great overall park. My boys also, especially my younger boy, loves the playground there. It's a fantastic playground. There's people who have birthday parties there all the time. They use the pavilion. So just another great park right here located in Suwanee. Another great part of the park system is it doesn't necessarily run through all the parks, but the Chattahoochee River runs right through Suwanee. So there's tons of great places that you can get down to the Chattahoochee to go fishing. There's a few businesses that you can go and rent tubes so you can tube the hooch. So you just got a bunch of inner tubes that goes down as a big group and you just are able to float the Chattahoochee, take in the scenery. So again, Suwanee is great for its parks and really just overall outdoor scene. So moving on to number 3 is the amenities here in Suwanee. So there's tons of shopping. We've got all your major grocery stores, Kroger, Publix. Right close to Suwanee is Aldi, Lidl. I'm not even sure how to pronounce it. We also have tons of youth sports training facilities. That's a big one for me and my family. We're actually a sports family and an art family. I've got a sports background. My wife is an artist. We try and keep our kids well-rounded. But the youth sports training facilities here are great. They didn't exist when I was a kid, but you have places like Zilla Training. You have Georgia Sports Performance Training. All these places you can find collegiate and pro athletes training, as well as youth athletes. In fact, my oldest son has done a ton of football training at Georgia Sports Performance. He's also done boxing there. He does a lot of training at Zilla, weightlifting, speed and agility, all kinds of different things like that. There's also a great gym for kids MMA, mixed martial arts, for jiu-jitsu and kickboxing, things like that with Creighton MMA. There's also a lot of microbreweries in Suwanee. If you are a beer drinker, especially if you are a craft beer drinker, you're one of those snooty beer drinkers. We've got Steelfire Brewery. We've got Monkey Wrench Brewery. Just great local spots that you can come in, sit down, have a beer that you probably can't get anywhere else, and have great activities and fun with your friends. They'll have different things like cornhole tournaments, bands playing music, just different things like that. And then if we're going to talk about amenities in Suwanee, I cannot skip over the simple fact of the Suwanee Town Center. Now, the Suwanee Town Center is this developed area right by downtown Suwanee. Tons of restaurants, coffee shops. There's a huge field out in the middle of this development where they'll have concerts, they'll have festivals, they'll have farmers markets. There's all kinds of things, all kinds of lively entertainment activities that is going on in the Suwanee Town Center. There's not a day that you can go down there and not walk around and have a great time. So you definitely need to visit Suwanee Town Center. Number 4 on the list is the proximity to Atlanta. Atlanta is our big city. It's our capital. It's where if you can't find something, you're going to be able to find it in Atlanta. So it's a pretty straight shot. There's an interstate that runs through Suwanee called I-85, Interstate 85, and you can jump on I-85 south and it's going to take you straight into Atlanta. It's one of the major interstates that goes right through Atlanta. You're talking about 30 miles from Atlanta, 35 to 40 minutes to get into town. If you're going to the airport, if you've got to travel a lot or you're going to pick up family that are coming to visit you in Suwanee, it's around 40 miles and you've got about a 45 minute, maybe 50 minute pushing it, depending on traffic, which if we're talking about traffic, a great idea is to get what we call the Georgia Peach Pass. So we got 2 lanes or 2 different ways to zoom around in Atlanta. There's the HOV lane, which means you've got to have at least 2 or more people in the car. So it's a carpooling advantage. You can get in the far left lane and it's usually less trafficy. Or even better, the Georgia Peach Pass. What that is, a sticker that you buy online and you preload it with money. And so there's charges to be able to go 4 exits in the Georgia Peach Pass or from here to there. And it'll usually tell you on the sign above, this takes 80 cents to go this far. This is $1.30 to be able to drive. So it's a way for the state to make some money, but it is a great way to avoid traffic. I love jumping in the Georgia Peach Pass lane and watching all those suckers who are driving about 15 to 20 miles an hour as I zoom by at about 65 or 70. So it's a great location to be in the Atlanta area where you're still experiencing all the suburbs, but you have close proximity and easy access to Atlanta and get the big city vibe as well. Number 5 coming in on our list about the top 7 things that you need to know about living in Suwanee, Georgia is proximity to nearby suburbs. So Suwanee is a great suburb that is surrounded by other great suburbs. You've got Duluth, which is just south of Suwanee. Again, they have another amazing downtown. You can check out some of my other videos to see what downtown Duluth is like. It also borders Johns Creek, is one of the most wealthiest suburbs actually in the country. There's a lot of great things to do in Johns Creek, a lot of great homes there. It also borders Lawrenceville, which again, you can check out some of my other videos to hear more about Lawrenceville. But Lawrenceville's got a great downtown area, ton of stuff to go do there and to go see and experience in Lawrenceville. And it's also very close to something close to my heart, Lake Lanier. Now, if you've heard the stories of Lake Lanier, some people say it's haunted. I've never been drugged down by the Lady of the Water, as stories tell, and I've been swimming and doing water sports and boating in that lake now for over 40 years. And believe it or not, I've never had a ghost grab my leg and try and take me to the depths of Lake Lanier. But it is a great lake for boats, for water sports. There's several restaurants on the lake that you can drive your boat to. We've got Lake Lanier Margaritaville, which is a huge, fun family development on Lake Lanier. And Suwanee is probably maybe 10 minutes to get to Lake Lanier. It's a fast, easy access point. Number 6, let's talk about cost of living in Suwanee. You've heard all these things and you're probably thinking, yeah, Rip the Realtor, but how much is it to live there? Is it expensive? It is a little bit more expensive than some other suburbs. In fact, housing is typically right at 40% higher than the national average as far as housing goes, and it's over 60% higher than the state average. So again, housing is a little more expensive in Suwanee, and it's, again, you get what you pay for, right? So it may be more expensive, but you're getting great schools, great parks, great location. So you get what you pay for. The cost of living, it's not as high as the housing cost. Total cost of living is about 12% higher than the national average. It's about 20% higher than the state average. So though it is a little bit higher, it's not astronomically higher than the state average. So as we're talking about real estate, know that the sales price has gone up. The average sales price for Suwanee homes for a single family home right now is right under $650,000. So it is getting a little expensive to live in Suwanee as the average sales price. That has gone up almost $100,000 in just the last year. That's how popular Suwanee has become. That's how sought after it's become. So that is the average sales price is just a little bit less than $650,000. The average days on the market, that's when we say that, we're talking about how many days does it take for a home in Suwanee to be listed before it sells. All right. And so the average days on the market for that, about 6 days. So that's the latest stat for July. So they are moving fast. They do move fast. But the good news is the inventory that we have is almost at 2 months. So we're getting a little bit healthier inventory. It has been less than a quarter month even. It got down to where it was very fast. And what that means, inventory, when I say there's 2 months of inventory, that means if no other homes came on the market, it would take 2 months to buy up all the active listings right now. So just to give you a frame of reference, about 3 to 6 months is what constitutes a healthy, balanced market. So we're almost back at a healthy, balanced market, but right now the advantage is still a little bit on the seller with having just under 2 months of inventory left. And for those folks out there who like to keep up, what is the square foot price? How much are houses by the square foot? So the average price a square foot for Suwanee homes is right at around $200 a square foot. So that kind of gives you an idea of what you're going to pay for based on the size house that you're looking for as well. So there you have it, the 7 things that you need to know if you're considering living in Suwanee, Georgia. If you're considering or thinking about moving to Suwanee, Georgia, I would love to help you out, love to be a resource for you. So please feel free to give me a call, even if you're just curious, love to answer any questions. And so that is the 7 things that you need to know if you're considering moving to Suwanee, Georgia. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Love y'all.